All right, MAGA, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, okay? Whenever you say that America is supposed to be a Christian nation, what it tells me and anybody like me is that you got your education from a pulpit and not a classroom. Because if you actually knew anything about the founding fathers, don't worry, I brought the seats, then y'all would know how silly you sound to the rest of us. Okay? It literally says that your education came on Sundays only and Monday through Friday y'all were just check out. Okay, so first off, let's clear up a little thing. I have the colonists who came over here on a little boat, okay? And they were escaping religious persecution because like the monarchs and kings were like, you're going to do this. And they were like, the fuck we are. And so they left and they came to America. And then they set up their own little religions here. But as true to form, like humans do, like y'all are trying to do right now, they started to persecute each other for not practicing each other's religion. The Pilgrims, they fled England to worship freely. And the Puritans left to escape Anglican control, but then did exactly what I just said, started persecuting other people. Quakers and Catholics, same deal. They all came here because they didn't want people telling them how to worship. That was the whole point. But then again, when they came here, they started doing the same shit that they had just run from, okay? Now the founders, who were the lineage of the people who came on the little boat, okay, remember? So they became the founders. And what influenced their doctrine, what became the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, was looking at what was happening in the colonies and going, no, we're not pulling a repeat performance. We came here to establish that you may celebrate and practice any religion or no religion at all. Again, I'm gonna bring the fucking receipts, don't worry. And I am so sorry to have to be the one to tell y'all this because I'm certain that you didn't hear this in your church. I didn't hear it in mine. I grew up Christian, okay? But the founders were not Christians, okay? Most of them were deists, which just means that they believe that there's a God, right? Like a creator, but they don't believe that he has a hand in everyday operation of things. And they certainly don't believe in organized religion, like telling people how to live their lives. I'm gonna bring the quotes, hang on. So basically they believe like God sets up the world, then he lets it run on his own. They definitely didn't rely on miracles or the Bible to make laws. Okay, so now some quotes from the very same people that you guys lean on to say that this is a Christian nation, which of course it never was. Jefferson had such a problem with the traditional Bible that he made his own. Not lying, you can go look it up on Amazon. It's called the Jefferson Bible, okay? And basically, he kept all the teachings of Jesus because he thought that Jesus was like a moral teacher, but he didn't believe in all like the bullshit, like the miracles and whatever. He was like, oh yeah, that's all garbage. So go look it up. It's not my opinion, guys. He said, the day will come when the mystical generation of Jesus will be classified with the fable of the generation of Minerva and the brain of Jupiter. I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm sure it's like a book from like a fictitious book. But yeah, so that's what he had to say about that. He also said, the legitimate powers of government extend to such acts only as are injurious to others, but it does me no injury for my neighbor to say that there are 20 gods or no God. Neither picks my pocket nor breaks my leg. What is he saying? He's saying like, I don't care, bro, believe in whatever God you want. As long as you don't stop me from believing in my God, it doesn't hurt me. And here are two more of my favorite quotes from him. Christianity is the most perverted system that ever shone on man. And he's not saying faith in a higher power. Again, they were deists. They just weren't Bible-thumping Christians. And he also said, Christianity neither is nor ever was a part of the common law. So when y'all say like, oh, it was supposed to be a Christian nation, that's just a fabrication in your head. It's not based in reality. And James Madison completely opposed religion and government being intertwined. He said, the religion of every man must be left to the conviction and conscience of every man. Religion is wholly exempt from civil society's cognizance. Basically, religion is personal, not political. He also said, religious bondage shackles and debilitates the mind and unfits it for every noble enterprise. And good old George Washington, he attended church, took communion from time to time, but he avoided strict religious dogma. And don't get me started about Benjamin Franklin, who was a classic deist, skeptical of all organized religion. He said, never doubted the existence of a deity, but I do not see that the institutions of Christianity have contributed to the moral improvement of mankind. Can I get an amen? All of God's people said, this was not a Christian nation. Okay, he also said, this one literally is one of my favorite, the way to see by faith is to shut the eye of reason. What do we think he meant by that? Y'all think about it. And then he also said, lighthouses are more useful than churches. Totally agree with that. Again, I'm a person of faith. Organized religion? No, you can get out of here with that. And then one more, John Adams, who was a Unitarian. He completely rejected the Trinity and was very critical of church authority. And he said, "Divinity of Christ is a doctrine which I do not believe." He signed the Treaty of Tripoli, in that he said, "The government of the United States is not, in any sense, founded on the Christian religion." If you made it this far in the video, don't forget to leave the secret words, "America was not meant to be a Christian nation," in the comments. Like, repost, and follow for updates. And again, you guys may want to follow me over on YTube, because I don't know what's going on with TikTok, but some of my videos, they're going missing. So to round this out, the founders literally built rules to keep religion out of government. Jefferson called it the wall of separation. The point is, the US was never meant to be a Christian nation. They wanted a government where people could follow any religion or no religion at all. If you don't believe me, go read the document that you have printed on the side of your truck and your t-shirts. The word God is never mentioned. Bottom line, the founders built a nation where not the colonists, not the ones that came here, but the founders, the one that wrote the Constitution, they wanted to build a nation where everybody could believe whatever they wanted, including believing in no God at all. Claims that America was meant to be a Christian nation where you cherry pick this, that, or the other, ignoring tons of real world evidence, not the least of which is the United States Constitution. Freedom of religion was the whole point. No one's saying that you guys can't practice Christianity. Knock yourselves out. But leave people free to practice whatever they want. Buddhism, Muslim, whatever, okay? Or none at all. It's none of your business, okay? Please stop saying this nonsense about how this was founded, that the United States was founded to be a Christian nation. That is a fairy tale that you have created in your head that is not even loosely tied to reality.